What's going on, everybody? This is the Eagles Collective. We got a lot to talk about right now. The Eagles advance over to the division playoffs against the Rams. We got a lot to talk about. Talking a little bit about the Packers game and moving forward into the Rams game. And we're going to tap a little bit into the other games going on too as well. But yo, we know we got to get it started the right way. So let's do it.
What's America's bird? Evil.
What's going on, everybody? I got my boy Scott and my boy Jay. What's going on, fellas?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, we advance over to we got the Rams. We got the Rams coming up. And I don't know about y'all boys, but I'm kind of feeling good about this game with just the way they play Sam Darnold. You know they ain't gonna do that on us. So that's something
Nah,
I'm definitely not worried about. But yo, there's been so much talk about this game, just performance, just people just not liking the offense, all that stuff. If anybody doesn't know who Seth Joyner is, Seth Joyner was that linebacker that played with the Eagles back in 1991, that mean green team. But let's
Let
just
me ask
tap
you
in.
something, right? And I just want to say this, right? And listen, I respect you as a human being, and I respect you as a football player, and you played for this team. But you have no right to tell us as Philadelphians what we're supposed to be grateful for and what we're not supposed to be grateful for. I take that personally. You know, Jalen Hurts as a player going to another team or you retire, we're left here buying merchandise, going to the stadium, still tailgating, you know what I mean, still cheering for this team through and through. And last time I checked, this organization got one Super Bowl ring. One. Right to come on here and complain about a game that we feeling like ain't good enough from the quarterback. And that's just the bottom line of it.
You
Ain't
good?
enough
You
for the
done?
quarterback.
You
You have
done?
your opinion on it, and we have ours.
Are you
And
done?
What we watch is what we watch.
Are you
And
done?
that guy yesterday did not play good enough for us to win against
Are
a
you
greater
done?
football
Well, he
team.
Are
did
you
play.
done?
He did play good
That's
enough.
Chuck. Wait
He
a
didn't
minute.
play good.
No,
He didn't play good enough.
no.
No, I'm just correcting
Against a
something he
better
said.
team.
He
He said
called
against a
in.
better
Oh, I'm
team.
sorry.
Yeah, he said against a better team.
Okay.
He called in, and are you done?
I'm done. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Are you done though? Are you done? Because
I think the answer is no. He's not
I
done.
want to get paid to do this, bro. You call in as a fan because you want to voice your opinion. Okay, as somebody who played the game, I got a little more depth in my opinion of what I think and what I say. Okay, no. I shut my mouth and I let you talk. Okay, now you do me the damn respect of shutting your mouth and letting me talk. Okay, let me speak my piece because I sit back and I look at this city, and you know what? Sometimes the city is a little ungrateful. Okay. Sometimes you are ungrateful. I get it. I feel the pain. You think I don't feel the pain of this city not having Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls? You think that I'm pleased with my 8 years here that we didn't get the damn job done as the best damn defense in this city that will ever be known? You think I don't understand that? But I'm not going to sit here and let y'all just beat this kid up because he went out and did the best he could yesterday and y'all ungrateful because you know what? We could be talking about something completely different
Seth,
right now.
that's not being ungrateful. It's
No.
it's giving an opinion. You have a different opinion, but to yell at fans and everybody here that we're ungrateful because the opinion was he wasn't great, that's unfair too.
Can you enjoy the fact that they won the game
I
yesterday?
did enjoy it. I was
Yeah,
there.
but Seth,
Okay,
here's
then.
the part I
But
think.
that's my part.
Here's the
That's
part.
my thing.
Here's the part I think you're missing. That a lot of what people are saying is, I'm concerned if he plays like this again, my team might lose against a better team. Don't you think that's a reasonable point, Seth?
You can have that, Joe. But you know what? I heard it the last 2 weeks. Two things can be true, right?
Of course.
Okay? Give me the evidence of what's happening. The truth of the matter is the team is playing next week. And instead of us talking about what's going to happen next week and the possibility of moving on to the NFC Championship, we're talking about that this ain't good enough.
Well, a lot of people are saying I'm concerned.
It's almost a precursor that sets you up for if they lose next week. because now we can cut Jalen every which way to Sunday because we saw this coming. Instead of us just saying, hey, you know what? He didn't play his best football, but when he needed to make plays for this team to win, he made plays. And guess what? We get to play another Sunday, okay, where 16 other teams are making reservations to go fishing, to play golf, to go on vacation, to do all these other things, okay? My point is, and maybe ungrateful might be a little strong for people with little hurt feelings that can't handle the damn truth, okay? But the truth is, okay, we get to play another Sunday.
Scott, so after hearing that, all the talk that's been going on about Jalen, just what's your thoughts on it after hearing that?
I mean, first, for everybody who doesn't know, that was Chuck from Mount Airy who called in, and he's always calling in with aggression, doing the same stuff, saying the same stuff. So it's to be expected. But I agree with Seth. I mean, we're all huge Eagles fans here, and any opportunity that we get to advance in the playoffs is a good opportunity. We've seen our quarterback win big games. We've seen him go to the Super Bowl and lose on a holding call, and he doesn't play defense, so that wasn't his fault. I mean, looking at the All-22 I watched after the game or today, I mean, for whatever reason, the Packers secondary just knew damn near every play we had, and everybody was literally covered every game. I know it sounds like a crazy excuse, but I mean, for Jalen's first game back, not being able to find any open receivers, it was just a weird game. You can't blame that on Jalen. You just can't if you really know what happened. So I 100% agree with Seth. We playing next week. That's all I care about.
Yeah, Jay, what's your thoughts on that? Jay, you actually was the one that showed me this, and I had to bring it on just so we can just put it out in the atmosphere of just letting everybody know. This is kind of everybody's thoughts right now on the cast right now.
During the game, I'm looking at posts of people complaining about how he's playing, what's going on. And listen, number one, he came off a concussion. Number two, Jalen hasn't had the gaudiest stats all season. Like, I don't understand. Maybe the national media is just catching on because it's a primetime game and they're making it more spotlight on it. But this is how he's been winning games. Of course, the passing game was off. He looked a little out of rhythm. He looked like a quarterback coming off a concussion. Like Scotty said, a couple analysts said they watched the All-22. Same thing. It looked like the Packers knew where everything was going. There was a scheme. It looks like they had everything covered. So what do? You go to the next best thing, which is the running game. I mean, what do you expect? You know, he wasn't missing open receivers. It just upsets me that Eagle fans have the nerve to complain after having 15 wins, getting in, being hot, having the best defense, and you're still trying to find what could go wrong. And it's like he said, it's like we're trying to make a precursive. So in case they lose or something goes wrong, we could just slice and dice them. And it's like that's what Philly wants to do. Ungrateful is the right word. Ungrateful is the right word. I don't think that's a harsh word. Ungrateful is the right word. Every Eagle fan that complain about Jalen Hurts is ungrateful.
Facts.
No, that's facts. Yeah. And kind of the way that I was looking at, I kind of sat back and thought, Jalen's been starting for this team going about 4 seasons, we would say. 4 seasons starting. He's took us to the postseason every time. How many other teams can actually say that about their starting quarterback that is passing more than Jalen, has better passing yards, has better stats? Like, at the end of the day, we know that our season's not up in December. Like, at the end of the day, we all know our season really isn't up in December. So I think people aren't looking at that. And I think a lot of you got to think about it. If he's been going 4 years of being in the postseason, I feel like you have to put him up there with that caliber of quarterbacks. Yeah, he doesn't have the stats for it. And then I think the way that the Eagles just are performing, they're trying to show that there's another way to win a championship. So these teams have these quarterbacks that have these crazy stats, but their defense is trash. Or a quarterback that is good, but their wide receiver's trash.
And why all of a sudden does this city care so much about passing yards, as if we've ever had a quarterback that was number 1, number 2, number 3 in the NFL in passing yards? We've always had quarterbacks that, play the same type of way as Jalen. Would you rather have Jalen throwing? Would you rather have a quarterback who's throwing 300 yards a game with 2-3 picks and we're losing, or a quarterback who's picking up 130 with whatever he can get and he's winning us the game? Like, y'all got to be smarter than that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Have a quarterback like Sam Darnold who's been putting up 300, 350, 290, and then he gets on big stages and he folds. Jalen doesn't fold on big stages. That's what people don't understand. I have a lot of faith and trust in Jalen Hurts when it comes to playing on big stages and playing against good teams. People forget the Packers are a top 5 defense. I think they were 6. I think they were the 6th total defense in the NFL. They were not a terrible defense. Their defense played extremely well. They deserve credit, if anything, because they kept them in that game. Same way our defense has kept us in games. So, when you really look at it, if you go back to Vincent's comment about the 10-point lead, can you pin that? That should be what everybody's thinking. You cannot take a chance and force a ball in coverage.
Exactly.
Protect the lead and play smart. You play the cards that's dealt to you. You don't start, digging in the bag and go stat pattern and try to, make everybody get these numbers and everything. Get out of here. And then, the whole AJ thing too. AJ's not involved. Okay, he's not involved in the game. Obviously, he had one target. So it's like, what are we going to do? It's not the first time he's reading the book on the sideline. The Eagles win different ways. We don't rely just on Saquon. We don't rely just on AJ. We don't rely just on Devontae. We don't rely just on Goddard. Everybody has to play their part. Everybody's not going to have their day. Everybody's going to have a day sometimes. It just depends on what it is. This Eagles team is so, it might sound funny, but inconsistent when it comes to production because you almost don't know who's going to kill you.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And I feel like they play down. They're playing down to their opponent, but at the same time, they're going to get the win. But I think we're not going to get that blowout game. Last blowout game we got was against the Cowboys, and like it's the Cowboys. It's kind of that. If anybody we want to blow out, we want to blow out the Cowboys. If you really think about it, but
think about it, they run the ball more. They don't play. They're not passing the ball. They're not 40 pass yard attempts a game. They don't play to score 50 on you. They play to have 60 minutes of football and for them to control the pace in its own.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
And we still won by 2 scores too. It's not like it was there was never really a chance where Green Bay even really had like a shot, the defense just keeps us from allowing that.
Yeah.
On that breakaway, what's the score? You understand?
Jay, I think something wrong with your audio. It sounds like you pretty low.
Yeah, or you're far away.
Or like your phone's on the table or something.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. It just sounds
low.
like you're far away. Yeah. But while you doing that, just reading what Steven said, I'd like to announce that the Eagles win over Green Bay yesterday. The Eagles road to victory bus tour is coming up in Pittman on Friday. There'll be Eagles cheerleading. That's what's up, Seth. Steve, my bad. Let's see what Vincent said. The fact that the city never been about stats is about winning. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly what I'm saying.
My fault. Now y'all
I
can hear
don't
me,
understand.
bros?
Much better. Much better.
My fault.
Omar
The thing was
said
blocking the
we
thing.
need
AirPods in.
Yeah. And would you say this is rust? Like at the end of the day, would you say like this is just what was gonna happen with Jalen coming back Wednesday, practicing Thursday, practicing Friday, walk through Saturday? Is this kind of what we expected? We didn't expect him just like throwing for over 200 yards, like 3 touchdown passes. Like we didn't expect that. We knew there was going to be a little bit of some rhythm being built as he was playing. So that's what I'm chopping it up as. I can definitely say, and maybe Scott saw me a little bit, the game got to a point to where I'm looking more at the time than the actual game. Like I was kind of to the point to where I need to just get through this. Like I'm just ready for the game to be over because we're taking the lead, but our offense is just not executing like that. And I think they're going to definitely have to execute a lot better if they're going to be playing the Rams because the Rams the Rams have a good quarterback. They got good receivers. Their defense is getting there, but they're young. I just think the Eagles' defense is just too physical for anybody right now. And that's even the Lions. Like, that's facts.
100%.
Yeah.
So, they have a good secondary. The Packers have a good secondary, and that's what they were doing. They were zoning us like crazy.
Yeah, like
and
crazy.
receivers just weren't getting open. And maybe Jalen, if you want to really nitpick that bad, maybe he could have been a little bit better at reading what the defense gave him. But at the same time, if your receivers aren't open, like what else is there to do? I mean, we had that
Yeah,
one. It was like that throw in the flat to Goddard where he stiffied that boy to the ground. Like that's what you got to do in those situations, and that's exactly what he did.
The one play
So
I wish he would have hit was the fake tush push when he almost hit AJ. See that was the play that I needed to hit for me because now we showed everybody that play and it's like it didn't even work. So that was the play that almost hit his accuracy. He just was a little bit off during the game. And like I want to say
yeah,
something else. Think about how many times has Jalen Hurts lost the Eagles a game that we could blame him fully for losing them a game. You can't even think of one. You can't even think of a game where he actually lost the game for us.
yeah,
Solely because of his quote unquote poor play. You understand? This was not his best game for sure. It was not, but he made the plays when we needed them, and he managed the game very well. Coming off a concussion, I think he did well.
yeah.
I'm
I
glad we
think I
all
think
understand
Jalen
that.
did well. Yeah, Jalen did well for what was asked of him, especially be coming back from that concussion, being out, going on 3 weeks. Like he played decent, but we can
That's a
all
good that's
agree.
a good point too,
Yeah,
right there from Richard. Because AJ, if you look at it, AJ did slow down a little bit.
Yeah, if he would
well,
have kept
AJ's
going,
injured.
the ball
AJ's
was
injured
there.
as
His
well.
his knee,
His
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he's still injured. He's not 100%. So I think AJ knows that as well. Like he knows that, and maybe AJ would have been open if he would have been 100% healthy. But for a whole week, AJ was questionable all week
yeah.
Yeah.
on
He's
if he
on
was
a he's
playing or
on a
not.
management thing for his knee. But you're all right, Warren. The injury, I don't know about the targets. Why he didn't get that many targets? He just was not targeting him for some reason. But maybe the injury did have to do with that. But at the end of the day, he's out there, and the defense has to pay him attention.
What would y'all grade? And everybody watching right now, what would y'all grade Jalen leaving this Packers game? What would y'all grade him at?
Like the performance based off that game alone.
Not
Yeah,
too
just
high.
that game.
We can't grade him high.
I run like a C plus, B minus.
I'm looking in the
Yeah.
C range too, somewhere in the C minus. I mean C plus range, B minus around there also too, because he didn't play. Like I said, those his numbers haven't been gaudy all year, so it doesn't look too good when it's out there. But once again, he finds a way to get the dub.
And another thing
Yeah.
too, the reason why I might push it up to B minus is because he's not forcing balls into coverage. He's not turning the ball over, or at least he didn't this game. And that's big. I
Mhm.
mean, I think he ended with like 115 quarterback rating. It was like 2 passing touchdowns,
Yeah,
135
his,
yards.
no, his numbers looked all right.
Yeah.
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 You're
That's
not
due
turning
to
the
no
ball over.
turnovers. Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. The turnovers is what we do not want right now. Um, I think I would give him a C plus, and it looks like Dwayne gave him a C.
Yeah,
Rich is
C, a
giving
lot
him
of
a
C,
C. Yeah,
very
A lot of
I would
C's.
say, yeah, I
That's
would say
fair.
C plus, just because both of those touchdown passes, he called the audible on both of those.
Yeah,
He like
we were
he
talking
he
about that.
changed the play up. Yeah, he changed the play up on both of those. So
stood in the
that's
pocket too
kind
on
of
the
where I'm
first
with.
one. He didn't bail and try to run up. He literally stood in on the island.
And let's
How
let's
about them?
also just look at how convenient it was for him to have Dallas Goddard out there. Like to have Dallas Goddard still out there. I know Calcaterra's kind of been getting more of the reps just
Yeah, but he
because
ain't
Dallas
got
been
it.
injured. Yeah, but Dallas Goddard came back and he balled. He got him a touchdown, and I like the way he played. Let's see what Gio said. What were
I
you about
feel
to say,
like
Scott?
Goddard adds a little threat to us because we have AJ, we got Devontae, we have different it's like having a knife set and they're all different ways to cut you because the way he plays the game, I feel like he's underrated overall, but he's always injured, so that's why people don't have that much give him that much praise or spotlight because Goddard is always injured.
Yeah, but it's good to run those two. We like to run some two tight end sets too, so
We
that's
need him, yeah.
it's good to have two
At
tight
times,
ends.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Calcaterra he's an equitable replacement because you've seen him make his one-handed catches, you've seen him make his throw, his plays, but Goddard is definitely a force out there. He just demands more attention from the defense also.
Let's see what Wayne's saying. He said, "Don't trust Jalen and shoot up. I know our defense is outstanding. You can always rely on them, especially with 3 turnovers in the first half. I think Jalen doesn't trust himself this year. I think I think the interception talk is in his head. He has time to get through. Get through the reads and mission to time. Okay. No, that's a clear point. I see what
He
you're
is
saying.
missing the timing. I mean, that's been a Jalen thing for a long time though, is missing the timing. That's definitely something that's consistent about him that's not great, but you'll take what you can get.
But you got to look at it. We haven't had an offensive coordinator to actually invest that time with them either. Every time we
Yeah.
do well, an offensive coordinator is gone. Like if we can at least get an off, Jalen Hurts played his best season that 2022 season, and he had Shane Steichen for 2 years.
Yeah.
So so
That's
I think we need an offensive coordinator that's going to play to Jalen's strengths, but also like develop him as he's going. If anything, it's kind of like he's in the same grade with different teachers. That's what it feels like. So
But
it's
it's almost like this one. He's in year 5. Is like Scotty said, this is kind of what he is and who he is already, like with the reads and stuff. Of course, we want him to improve on that. And I've always said this: he's not the best quarterback, but he's one of the
mhm.
smartest quarterbacks because he's not the best quarterback. I will say that about Jalen. He's a dual threat. His legs help him a lot. He's not the best quarterback, but as far as a leader, winner, if you want to call him a game manager, you can call him a game manager. I just know that he knows how to
Mhm.
make plays and he knows how to make big plays in big times. Can he throw the
yep.
go route? Yes. Can he get a 40-yard dash run? Yes. He can do it all. I just feel like he's limited himself a little this year. Maybe that interception talk is in his head. That could be in his head. That's a good point by Wayne. But the point of this is that this team is defense and running game. Defense and running game is what got us all the way this far, and we're not going to switch it right now.
And special teams too.
Special
Special
teams,
Yep.
teams has gotten a lot of good turnovers. So
They've been good all year.
yeah,
they're just running with the
everybody's
formula
playing
right now.
good all around. Yeah, everybody's playing good all around. Vincent got a question, and I guess he just wants our. So let's be honest. If Barkley scores that touchdown, our fans still mourning about the score.
Good point, Vincent. I
Mm,
don't think
It's a
so. I
great
think
point.
that they might not even be complaining about the game as much because of the extra 7 points. But they're gonna find, they're gonna complain regardless. But that's a very good point, Vincent. Because
It
what
is
if
a
the
good
score
point.
was 7 more points? Would it seem as bad? Because the score did look a little closer than the game actually was.
yeah,
As always.
As
no, that's
always, right,
facts.
Scotty? As always with us, right? As always, the scores that are indicative of what the game was like.
But
Yep.
yeah, hey, I think we can all agree that going into this next game, we're expecting a better performance just from Jalen, AJ, Devontae, Dallas, of course. I personally like the fact that Dotson got a touchdown in the postseason.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
like at least we can't have that talk that he's only looking at Devontae and AJ. Like he, there's a little bit of trust of Dotson in
Listen,
there.
there should be no complaints about Jalen, man. Look it up, man. Second winningest quarterback behind Mahomes since 2020. I mean, what else do you want? Like, do you want Sam Darnold? Do we want
Yeah.
Sam Darnold in the building? Do we want that type of quarterback in the building?
After what we saw yesterday, bro, I
You
don't think
understand?
nobody
Is
wants
that
it.
who you want in the building? Like, people, it's like, I don't understand. People are still complaining about Jalen. I don't get it.
Justin Herbert too. People keep saying Justin's better than
That's
Jalen,
another
but he
one
just
too.
threw
Oh, matter
four
of fact, thank you,
interceptions.
Scotty. You want Justin? I want Justin. We'll call him up. Y'all want Justin? That's what we want in Philly because I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not that easy to just plug and play like that.
Come on, dude has played 11-0 in the last 11 games where he started and finished. And this take away to watch
Mhm.
11 straight. Not all quarterbacks are gonna give you 2, 3 straight wins. He's giving you 11 straight. Do you get that?
Yeah,
Like, I don't think people get that. Let's put it on a poster, put it in Philly somewhere, billboard.
we did get some sad news though. The Kobe
Oh yeah,
Dean is gonna be out for the rest of the season. It's kind of frustrating just because Dean was kind of that player that we watched. Everybody was saying he's not going to be good. Too small of a linebacker. He's always injury prone. I would give him a A- season,
me
like
too.
straight up,
For
like
sure.
A- season, especially playing next to Bond because I think he played well, and it just sucks that we're going to be moving forward without him. But from what Vic Fangio said at his press conference, Owen Burks is going to be the starting linebacker. Bond will have the green dot, so he'll be calling all the plays. One thing that was a little bit interesting that Vic Fangio said was he was going to put uh, Trot Jr. out there a little bit, not
Hmm.
as much, but he will be playing. He will be playing a few plays out there, so excited to see how that goes. But this is a huge loss, especially to just the Georgia Dogs. They want to take it. I think they all want to win this all together on the field. And losing BG was a big hit. Now losing to Kobe Dean is another big hit that we're taking. So it's definitely frustrating. Just what's your thoughts on the Kobe Dean being out?
I mean, yeah, like you said, I like what we saw from Dean all year. When BG went out and we were having that discussion about who's going to be the leader to step up, I'm pretty sure a couple of us named him. So it's a big loss, no doubt about that. But I do like the next man up mentality that our team seems to have. I like Vic Fangio's trust in Burks and Trotter. He was saying, Trotter has a bright future and his future might be now. So I did like what I see from Oren this season too. When he's had to come in, I know he hasn't played a whole lot because our guys are so good, but he's done a lot in little time. So I'm really not too concerned, although it is a big loss and it does suck. But I think we're still good. Our defense is just too damn good.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, same thing. With Dean, the A- thing, I agree with you. First of all, I think he had 116 tackles and 9 tackles for a loss this season, and he got injured on a tackle for a loss. He lived behind the backfield. He overachieved playing next to a all-pro, first teamer and Zach Bond. He still excelled right next to him. He's gonna be missed. He got injured on a good play. He was playing well going in the game. He had a good tackle right before that. So his presence is gonna be missed on the field. And I think now we just need to do it for BG and do it for Dean.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's just good that we got linebackers like this that we can just put into the rotation. It's not going to be a plug and play deal, but we know that they can at least step up with that next man up mentality. And then we saw him against the Cowboys, even though it was the Cowboys. He was the first one to get that fumble and that the very first play of the game, honestly. That very first fumble, he was the one that started that. So I think this is his opportunity too, to where he gets to kind of show what he can do. So he's definitely going to take it.
He was a backup in San Francisco behind Greenlaw and Fred Warner. So he's been on teams. He's been around good teams. He's been on good defenses. So I feel like he's going to play well.
He's played in big games already too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Scotty. He's played. That's the better way to put it. He's played in big games already, so we can expect him to do well.
He's definitely played when the lights are bright. No, I like that. That's a good point. Just so after watching that game, seeing everything going on, now we know this is the team that we got coming up next. I know we all watched that game against the Vikings and the Rams, and it almost looked like the Vikings didn't deserve to be there. Like it truly looked like that.
They've been getting exposed these past few weeks, that's for sure. But hey, look, let's not discredit the Rams. I'm not scared, but this team is coming in hot. They've won 10 of their last 13, and one of those games was when they rested their starters. But we're also one of those losses. So their offense is hot, but the defense, they're not going to be able to handle us just like they couldn't the last time. I think Jalen had a 180 on them. Saquon had 255.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Now, the biggest thing with this team is I don't think their offensive line can stop our defensive line. I just think they're gonna Sam Bradford's gonna have a lot of pressure on him going into this game. I mean, Stafford. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
Their name kind of sound alike, right?
Yeah.
Similar.
But my bad. But yeah, that's truly what I feel like. It's just gonna be too much pressure on them to where they're gonna try to run the ball a lot, and we just got to stop the run. We saw what Josh Jacobs did to us.
I told y'all about that run defense, and Vincent said it a few weeks ago. But he was the one who made me put my spotlight and start watching them every game. And if there's one liability, they cannot let these angry runs happen. They cannot let it happen.
Yeah, and just looking at the Rams right now too. So the Rams had the 20th pass defense and the 22nd run defense.
Yep.
So this was the game that Saquon ran 255 yards on them.
Yep.
Like in the dome in the dome in LA. So I think it can be a pass heavy game. It can be a run heavy game. Like it's kind of, we got the choice to see what they're really going to do. That's kind of my thoughts going towards this. I kind of want to hear what you got to say on this, Jay.
Yeah, on this matchup, the Rams have been playing well as of late. Their defense is actually playing better. They had that scoop and score yesterday, the rookie Jared Verse, but I think the Eagles are going to overwhelm them too. I felt the same way going into the last week's game. I feel the same way right now. It's his defense. It's just the defense. I don't see Matthew Stafford is not the young Matthew Stafford anymore. His defense is flying. Mitchell got his first pick. He got that out of the way. His shoulders can drop a little bit. The defense is just. If you look at even look at Mitchell's pick. Zach Vaughn was in the end zone. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like this team is flying and swarming everywhere. I just don't know if Stafford is going to be able to handle this. And like you said, the offensive line handling the defensive line, that's the matchup to watch.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Now, what would be a concern going into this game? I think they gotta hold Puka Nacua back.
Puka.
Yeah. Puka, is it Puka? Okay, yeah,
Puka.
but I know Higsby's might be out this game because he left the game injured yesterday, so they might be without him.
They said he's gonna play.
He's gonna end up playing. Okay,
Yeah,
I know he was out. Yeah,
they took him to the hospital, but I saw that he's gonna play on Sunday.
We want. It's good when people play healthy. I hate when people are injured, bro. That sucks. But
hold on. I don't mean to get off top. I see Vincent and Gio speaking in the comments about the whole thing. This is what I mean about the Tanner McKee thing and the whole Jalen Hurts. See, do you think Tanner McKee? I'm gonna just go off script for 1 second. Do you think Tanner McKee would have really played that well against the Packers' first team defense in those corners? You understand? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But one thing I could tell you is this. There's not a quarterback on that roster that gives them a better chance than Jalen Hurts, okay? Not Kenny Pickett and not Tanner McKee. They might look good against the second string and third string Cowboys, in a meaningless game. But when all the statues is on the line and all the marbles is on the table, I'm putting my money on Jalen and the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can go, Scott.
Tanner McKee puts the ball where, only his receivers can get it. We saw that. But he did, like Jay said, we played the Cowboys and we played up against, I think it was the Giants, right? The last game of the season. Mm-hmm. So you can't you got to take that with a grain of salt. He's never played in a big game in his career. It's just whether who's to say he won't go out there and ball, but we're not going to even do that.
And plus, the defenses have to prepare for you differently. Tanner does not throw. They could just load the box up and chill. When Jalen's out there, you got to stay on your heels and toes, which leaves defensive players stumbling. I will always remember how Jalen Hurts made Fred Warner look in that NFC Championship game. He had him dancing because he just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, no, that's if you really look at it, Tanner McKee. I think Tanner McKee he's a good quarterback, but he's a backup quarterback. That's all it is. He's just a backup quarterback.
Back to the Rams. He should be number 2. Let's talk back to the Rams.
He's a backup. He's a backup quarterback. That's all it really is. And for anybody to say that Tanner McKee or Kenny Pickett need to start over Jalen, first off, Kenny Pickett had his opportunity as a starter. Like he flushed that down the toilet. I think I think at the end of the day, Tanner McKee is a solid backup. Like at the end of the day, he's a solid backup. And if people really think he's that good, why are people not calling to pick him up? Nobody's not asking him for like a trade offer or anything like that. Like you've only seen him for 2 games. I'm pretty sure he's a good passer, but we haven't seen him a full season.
There's no tape on you. And plus, remember, quarterback, I always got to see you at year 2. Look at CJ. CJ disappointed me a lot this year, man. CJ Stroud. So we always got to see year 2 with a quarterback. That's why I like Jalen. Jalen keeps ascending. He keeps showing us that
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up about CJ Stroud because I want to go over these playoffs right now.
Go ahead.
And, I'm glad you brought that up. So everybody was expecting the Texans to lose to the Chargers. Texans come in. They're playing like the 2023 Texans, and they shut the Chargers down. Their next team is the Chiefs. Just going into that game, of course we got the Chiefs winning, everybody has you can't bet on the Chiefs. So like at the end of the day, can you see the Texans actually giving them a fight?
Nah. I mean, well, no. Let me before I start talking, let me say this. A lot of the games that the Chiefs have played this year against good teams, against bad teams, whatever, have been pretty close. So if it is one of those
Mhm.
down to the wire games, I wouldn't be surprised. But there's no chance in hell, bro, that they lose. No chance.
Yeah, I kind of feel what Scotty's saying. All their games come tight and close, but I don't think that first game. I don't think they're gonna be one and done. They at least got to get
Yeah.
past us to the AFC Championship. I don't see that happening. Plus, I said
Yeah.
I would love that though.
he's been underwhelming me this year. He has
That
not
would be
played.
crazy.
He has not played.
Mhm.
Played in his rookie season. Like the league, once the league figures you out in year 2, we're gonna see if you're really nice or not. Because there's a lot of tape on you. These coaches don't sleep. They don't eat. They watching film all day. And then the next year comes, and then we find out how good you really are. You understand?
That's their
So
job. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
their
think
job.
I don't think he's gonna get it done on that big stage in Kansas City. I don't see that happening.
Although that
Yeah.
game that they played on Sunday, that was probably his best game
Their
all year,
defense
and
just kept
and
getting
it
picks.
it came at a good time. But I
Yeah.
think he even threw for like 250.
They bailed him out though because he was not playing well. If you watch the game, they had a couple picks, a pick six, a couple picks set him up in a good field position. So once
Yeah.
again, year 2 for a quarterback is like even for Jaden Daniels in Washington, we're gonna see how good he is.
hmm
Yo, Jimmy's a Packers fan, and hey, Jimmy, I hate we had to do that to y'all boys. How many of y'all got injured? I think it was like
Oh man,
it
that
was
was
like
bad.
5 players. That was that when it was getting to that point, I was like, even if the Packers were winning, bro, would you really want to go to the next game with your players just knocked out like that? Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Anybody
this
who
could be
ran against
beating.
the Eagles deserves credit because once again, they're too physical. I just saw the clip where Saquon was hyping up special teams right
Yeah,
before the
yeah, that was
game. You seen
crazy.
that, right? He was like, "Yo, right now, get him right now, start early," and they definitely did.
hmm
I feel
No,
like
that's
that always
facts.
happens, bro. Like our team will make a big play, and then the next day or two later, they'll show them talking about that play about to happen. That's happened like 5, 6 times
That
this
is
year. That's
true.
crazy.
Good
Yeah,
point,
I
Wayne. Good
appreciate the
point about the
respect
physical.
from James, though. Appreciate you, bro.
So
yeah,
many
bro.
comments, I can't even keep up.
Yeah, a lot of them. He said, also realize Jalen is. Yeah, Jalen is behind the biggest O line in the league right now. So, but I'll add to that, Wayne. I think Russell Wilson had the same issue when he was playing, and what Russell Wilson said he was doing, instead of taking your traditional 7 steps back, he was taking 9 steps back just to see the field. But I truly don't even think if Jalen took 9 steps back, it would really help as much. That kind of answers why he's kind of curling over to the right or the left. So that's a real good point. I like that.
Couple weeks ago, remember when he pulled out the chain and he threw for 289? He said, "This is what I wanted to see." Let's not act like he ain't capable. Let's not act like that, folks. Come on.
Jalen wants to
hmm
keep giving the ball to Barkley, though. It was a low scoring game with Jalen, regardless. It was just, yeah. It's like I said, at the end of the day, like I was looking at this, the Packers have the number 7 defense. I mean, run defense, number 7 run defense in the whole league, and they got the 13th pass defense. So like,
They're
they
good.
were gonna come and just fold on us. They were
Yeah.
coming to fight. Like everybody's talking about how good the Packers defense was. What I kind of answers why the Eagles struggled, like at least for two. I think we were talking, Scott. It was like at least 2 quarters they were struggling,
Almost the whole game.
and
Yeah.
yeah, like they were struggling at least 2 quarters, and then came back. I got the
You got
Texans
Texans
over the
over.
Chiefs,
Jeez.
Travis.
Nice. Shout out to
Bro,
Travis. We gotta pin that. We're gonna come back. Travis,
if
come
you
back
bet,
next week. If they win, I'm
you
definitely
might as
coming.
well bet, bro. At least bet like
Yeah,
50.
Yeah, if you feel like that, bro, put something on that.
he said I'm a Vikings
Oh, I'm
fan.
sorry. I'm
Hey,
sorry, Travis. I apologize.
Oh,
Condolences to
damn. Don't bet 50.
you.
Free
well,
money.
I got a question for Travis though. As a Vikings fan, do you want to keep Sam Darnold next year, or do you want to see what McCarthy can do? That's the question I got for you.
It's got to be
He said keep
McCarthy.
the hands back.
It's gotta be McCarthy,
Yeah,
Travis. Say a good answer.
Oh, yeah. We'll take care of the Rams for you.
For
We
sure.
got you, bro. Guess I don't think Jalen works his footwork. Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's. I think picking on Jalen is low hanging fruit, though, bro. Like we know he's not perfect. That's my thing. Like we know he's not perfect, but we know he gets the job done.
We know he's
Like
a
it's
winner.
Why are
We
we
know he's
yeah,
a
why are we talking
winner.
about him throwing interceptions?
We know he's a
yeah.
winner. That's what
That
we
was
know.
the
We
issue
know
last year. That was the issue last year, and
Jalen got
we're not
dubbed.
talking about that.
Jalen
Yeah,
has beat every major quarterback: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Man, he beat Patrick Mahomes. I think he only threw for like 100 yards, and then they won in Arrowhead with DeAndre Swift.
yeah.
You
No,
understand?
that's
Like
facts.
this is just what he does. He wins games with 300 or 100. It don't matter. He's looking for dubs.
Yeah. So Commanders Lions game. Are y'all putting this right up there with the Texans Chiefs games? Like it's gonna be obvious.
Nah, I
No,
actually for this, I do think the Lions are gonna win the game, but I think, bro, the Commanders are a lot tougher than people think. I think they're gonna come out. Jaden's been balling, whether it's that rookie luck or whatever you want to call it. He's been
Mm-hmm.
hooping, so I think they're gonna give him a little run for their money. But I still think the Lions defense is just too much better, way
Yeah,
better than the Commanders.
yeah. I think going into this game, the only thing that kind of bothers me is let's say the Lions do win this game. It's gonna give the Lions an opportunity to see what it's like with a mobile quarterback. And we all know Jalen can definitely be mobile when he needs to. So I think giving them the opportunity to kind of practice with Jaden Daniels. I know I'm talking ahead, like if we won already, but just looking at that, just seeing that kind of gives them an opportunity to see what they can do with us, with Jalen being mobile. So that's my thoughts on that. I would like to see Jaden Daniels at least give them a run for their money. The Commanders are a hard hitting team. Like they're physical too. They are a physical team. So
Yeah,
whoever
they're
we do
tough.
get, yeah, whoever we get, we are going to be getting them at least slightly wounded from the other team. But Jay, what do you think about this game?
I think that game's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think it's gonna be back and forth. I do think the Lions are gonna win. I don't see them going one and done. The Vikings, I could have kind of saw that coming because I do not believe in Sam Darnold. And going back to last week's game, watching him play, I remember saying they're gonna lose next week because this guy's playing like he used to play on the Jets, and it's not gonna work. And big stages. Once again, some players cannot play on big stages. Not only quarterbacks. We're talking about position players. Anybody. They get on the stage and they get nervous and they don't perform as well as they should be. So I feel like the Lions. Jaden's good, but I feel like the Lions are they're gonna beat them. I think it's gonna be a shootout, but the Lions are gonna definitely win. But credit to the Commanders. I feel like the Cowboys and the Eagles have set a standard for them to be like this this powerhouse, and because they play in our division, and we are the standard. The Eagles and the Cowboys have been the standard for how many last couple of years in the division.
And you know what's crazy about that? The standard is setting so high to where they making crazy moves right now, bro. Like they're talking about possibly signing Dion.
Yeah,
Like they're
so
talking about
Yeah.
trying to get Dion over,
the
and I think that's going to be a train wreck. If they bring Dion Sanders, it's going to be a train wreck. But not to get off track, but I like what you said about that. The Commanders and the Eagles is now kind of those two teams in the NFC East,
I respect the
and
Commanders, especially after that win. I really do. Jaden Daniels, once again, I got to see him in year 2 to see how is he gonna take the leap? Is he gonna stay behind? Is he gonna have a sophomore slump? But if they do win that game, I would not be incredibly surprised. I would be way more surprised if the Texans beat the Chiefs. But if the
really,
Yeah.
Commanders could upset the Lions somehow, I wouldn't be that surprised because Detroit has no defense, and the Commanders' defense is not too terrible.
well, if the Commanders win, they come to Philly
They go to
for the
Philly. That's
NFC
what I'm thinking. And
Championship.
if Philly wins
So
versus the Rams, it would be an NFC Championship game, in the building, and that would be amazing.
ideally, that's what we want. That would be great.
That's what we would want because then we would have home field advantage. We
Home
wouldn't have to
field
go to
advantage.
Detroit. And we would get to
Hmm.
play Washington again full strength, and I think we would trounce them because remember we were on our way to. I remember that game was like, oh, we're gonna blow them out. Even when Pickett came 14 zip, we got this. And once again, Kenny Pickett is not Jalen Hurts. He's not gonna manage the game. He's not. You were gifted a 7-0 lead. You got another touchdown, 14 zip, and you couldn't maintain that.
Yep.
with the running
Yeah.
game and with everything going. You know what I'm trying to say? Because you wanted to see what
Yeah.
happens when you pass the ball a lot. You get into these shootout games. You get into these back and forth games. When you run the ball, you control the clock. You impose your will. You get a defense. Another first. You get them on a mode where it's like they're running it again. Running the ball is really sets the tone of the game.
No, that's facts. And to add to this, everybody says that the Eagles get in a shootout, Jalen's not going to know what to do. The defense isn't allowing shootouts.
You're not getting into
That's
You don't
the
even have to worry about it.
Yeah, the defense is not allowing it. Like, I don't know why people keep bringing this up. If they get into a game like that, they're not allowing it, bro. Like, that's why I say
We
you got
haven't
to
had a
give
shootout
Quinyon
all
Mitchell.
year.
Yeah, you got to give Quinyon Mitchell and you got to give Slay both of their respect for holding it down like that this whole season.
Yeah.
And Scotty,
Like,
Scotty's right. We haven't had a shootout all year. The only game I'll say was a shootout a little bit was the last game of Washington, but Jalen came out, and that's why it became a shootout because he was not to calm out the game. I'm telling you,
I think that was going to be a blowout. If Jalen would have stayed in that game, that was going to be a blowout.
Jalen comes out the game. Now it's a shootout. Do you understand the type of time we're on right now?
And he left with us. He left us with a big lead too, and we gave it up.
Exactly.
And momentum, and you understand. And we still lost the game with him gifting us the lead. You know why? Because he wasn't there to manage the game.
With 5 turnovers,
and we lost our other hitter on defense, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. When he went out, that back end was in a disarray.
Yeah, that you could see the whole defense, the whole secondary.
Bro, Washington, let me tell you something. I've licked my chops against a couple of teams. Washington's one of them. Kansas City's the other. Because Kansas City, I would love to have revenge. But if they could play Washington in a playoff game and smoke them, I would love that.
That's facts. What Travis was saying, he'd rather just keep J.J. McCarthy. I like it.
Come on, Travis.
Might as well.
Travis said, I got the Lions. Chill out. He said, "Oh, looks like they're having their own conversation. I think the Commanders have a great chance."
No, he's talking about my nephew. He said, "Chill it out." He's talking about son, Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh Allen's he's a legend. He's Superman right now. That's who I call Superman.
He said, "Great chance to win, especially if a close game with Daniels really is a step." We'll see. We will see. I don't have the Lions played a mobile quarterback.
They played each other this year, though. The Lions early in the season, the Lions beat them. They played already this year. They played this year. Look it up. I think
I'm looking it up right now.
They played, I think, week 4, week 5. They played in Detroit. Commanders didn't win that game, but then again, that was one of Jaden's first games. You know,
he's right though. I mean, for his age, he definitely is good at controlling the game.
His clutch, he has a clutch gene. I will say he has.
He definitely does.
I will admit that a lot of athletes, once again, they don't have that clutch gene. He has that clutch gene.
He was that rookie quarterback that said he wears a VR headset. That's how he watches.
What?
Yeah, he wears a VR headset.
I remember that. Practice. I remember him. Damn, that was like week 1.
Yeah, he wears a VR headset. That's dope. They did not play the Lions this season, from what it looks like. Nah, it looks like they did not play them.
No.
Now I will say it might be the the Ravens that you might be thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because they did play the Ravens pretty close. But yeah, just with this game, so we automatically got the Lions with that victory on that. Now, we talked about our game going into the next game, which I think is probably the heavyweight battle, honestly. Ravens and the Bills. I got the Ravens with this just because they got Derrick Henry, but then when I think about it, they got James Cook.
I was just about to say James Cook was snapping last night or the other day.
Yeah. So, what is your thoughts on that, Scott?
I'm taking the Bills. I think the Bills are hungrier. I think Josh Allen is just on a whole nother level this year. I mean, we can't discredit Lamar, but I don't know. I just feel like the momentum is riding with Buffalo for some reason. Something's telling me that. I think Buffalo has the home game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a huge, if I'm right, that's a huge plus because that fan base is just as crazy as ours. And then, like we just said, James Cook had like 120 rushing yards. So if he gets going right now, it's going to be scary for the Ravens.
Yeah, and I think the Ravens. I don't want to put this into the universe, but I truly think the Ravens played their best postseason game against the Steelers. That's my true opinion.
You don't
I feel
think
like
they
they
can play
played
better
their.
than that?
I don't think so, bro. Like I don't think they can. They can't top what they did against the
Nah,
Steelers. Like how I
the
think
Steelers just would
Derrick
have
Henry.
lost.
Yeah, Derrick Henry rushed for 170 something yards,
It was
uh,
186, I think.
186, and then Lamar Jackson, the way he was playing, it's the Bills' time right now. Like at the end of the day, I think the Bills might take it. It's just I don't know, bro. It's like I said, it's a heavyweight battle. So I think
That's
that's definitely
that's
one of
gonna
the
be a
games.
good game.
Yeah, I'll
That's
take the
gonna be a
Yeah,
Bills
good
too.
game.
But I really do think he's Superman. You took away less. You took less from him. Or you took Diggs away. He has essentially just 3 regular receivers. No disrespect to Cooper. He doesn't have anything flashy over there. He has Cook. He has a good defense. He should win. But Lamar has Derrick Henry in these playoffs. Lamar has struggled in the playoffs in the past, but now he has Derrick Henry. And that is a little spooky to go into any building with Derrick Henry because he is like a version of Saquon. He can, impose his will on a team and take a game over. But the Bills, it's very hard to win over there. Extremely hard. I think
Yeah,
Josh Allen's set on getting back to facing Mahomes again and finally getting over that hump because that's who's been standing in front of Josh Allen has been Patrick Mahomes.
yeah.
yeah, that's true. I will say this about Derrick Henry. I was watching the way that he runs.
Mhm.
He's kind of like an 18 wheeler. Like he starts off very slow, but once he makes that first break, he just takes off. And we saw that when we played him. Like I think we did a good job, like containing him from what he did. If the Bills can do that, I think this is the Bills' game. Like
That's
if
like
they can
what Shady
contain
used to
Henry.
do. LaDainian Tomlinson. That's how all great
Mhm.
running backs start. They start off slow. They want to see the line, see where the block's at, see where the gap is.
Patience.
That's yeah, nothing special about it. Just smart and strong as shit.
Yeah, but it just Saquon just seems a little bit quicker though. He seems
Definitely.
quicker with
His first
he
step.
seems quicker with the holes. Yeah, he's going into the he's flying through the holes quicker.
The thing is, he's elusive. Like he could juke in the trenches and out of them. So I mean that's what separates Saquon.
Yeah, and what Gio said, by the way, I'm in my Eagles gear every time y'all boys pop on. I appreciate that, Gio.
Good. That's a
Appreciate
good
you,
sign,
Gio.
bro.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
Gio.
We always
Yeah,
appreciate the comments from Gio.
most definitely.
Eagles
Eagles.
game. Shout out to Matrix.
Lamar will
Right.
choke.
I wish we could have. Matrix had a good post today about Jalen too. He went off in his car today
Yeah.
too.
You
But
really think Lamar is going to choke this game, Travis? I don't think he's going to choke. I just don't. I think this game is going to. If Zay Flowers is not playing this game,
he's
I
not.
think this game they're going to miss Zay Flowers. That's
Big
that's my
time.
honest opinion.
This is where
I
they
think
need
they're going to
Zay.
truly miss him. Yeah, they need Zay Flowers for this. And
I feel
Rashad
like
Bateman can only do so
he's
much.
done. They don't have anything because Bateman is not reliable. Aguilar, they have just regular guys, and I'm telling you once again,
Aguilar played good
yeah,
against the Steelers though.
he did, but it's just Lamar. Lamar has to be like Allen. He has to be Superman once he take away his pieces. He has to become Superman.
Yep. That boy Antoine.
Bills over Ravens.
Shout out to Antoine.
Antoine.
Yeah, they in Buffalo for sure.
They are.
Yeah.
They're in Buffalo,
If
man.
they're in Buffalo, it's wraps. That's my prediction
That's
too. I got the
Bills and
same
Bills
prediction,
Eagles Super
Gio.
Bowl. So you don't want to. So you don't want to see the Chiefs. You don't want
I
to see the Chiefs
do.
again.
I'm not saying I don't, but I'm just saying that's what I predict. I predict the Bills to go all the way,
Yeah.
and then the Eagles to beat them, obviously. But I mean,
Yeah.
in a what do you call it? In a fairy tale world or whatever, I would definitely
Mhm.
love to get my get back on Pat, but I don't care. I just want another Super Bowl, bro. It don't matter who's in the way. Whoever's in the
That's
way, you're in the
facts.
way.
Yeah, I feel like the Eagles' biggest challenge would be in the AFC regardless, because what
Yeah,
quarterback left in
me
the
too.
NFC is scaring you? He's actually scaring you.
Nobody.
Honestly, out of these
Jaden
8
Daniels
teams
might be
right
the only
now,
spooky one. Jared Goff does not scare me.
but even that though, just out of all these 8 teams, which defense scares you?
That's a very good point. The Eagles have the best defense left in the playoffs. literally they have the best
Like,
defense that's left in the play.
which defense scares you? Ravens, you can
These are
throw
all
on.
pretty good defenses. Like the defenses that are left are all pretty good
Yeah.
defenses.
And the Eagles is the
But
best
other
one. Well, over
But
everybody.
we're the
Eagles
most
is
consistent though. We're the most consistent, and we're holding teams back from scoring. Like I think that's what separates us though. All these teams that have been playing, they've had shootouts. You get what I'm saying? So they've
yeah.
experienced their shootouts.
You're right, Warren.
But so like we haven't really had to deal with, unless you want to call the Bucks game like a shootout. But
No, the,
I
we could
chalk that
admit
up.
that the Washington
Yeah.
game was the only shootout, and Jalen didn't even play. And
Yeah, but when you take Jalen out, you got to look at it differently, though. Like, because when we talk about what Jalen is best at, like, I don't feel like we would have lost that game. Like, we wouldn't have lost that game because that's when Jalen gets in. And Patrick Mahomes kind of has that mode, too, where when it's time to win, they just lock in. And, like, I think that's what makes both of them great. Just they have that lock-in mode to where nothing else matters. Let's just get this W and let's head on. But at the end of the day, I just think that this defense is – nobody's playing as physical as the Eagles right now. We haven't seen the Lions play. We haven't seen the Chiefs play yet. But the Lions are kind of wounded right now still. Like, they're not playing with their starters.
They have a lot of defensive guys out too. I think 7.
Yeah, and that rookie, the Eagles almost drafted Arnold over. It was Arnold or Mitchell. Mitchell. Yeah.
Terry and Arnold just went out, right?
Yeah, he just went out. They say he may come back. He has an injury, but they may just lose him for the rest of the playoffs because he's trying to make a comeback to play for the game. He said he's going to play. I don't listen to players. I listen to the doctors and the injury report.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said
I don't even know what that is, but we'll check that out.
I don't know what it is either, but I'll definitely research it.
Hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram, and we'll definitely check it out.
But yeah, no, that's like this defense. This is a physical defense, bro. Like this, I can definitely say as my time being the Eagles fan, this is probably the most physical defense that I've seen with Vic Fangio. And what makes it crazy is they're all young and they're all going to develop and get even better. Like, we're seeing Nolan Smith emerge in front of us, bro.
Oh, let's give him his flowers.
Shout out Nolan, man.
Somebody, wait, time out. I don't know how we got almost an hour into this and we did not even mention Nolan Smith.
We saving the best for last. We saving the best for last.
That boy had 5 tackles, 5 pressures, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks.
That boy is emerging and you know what? Blessings that BG, speedy recovery. But ever since BG went out, this is who's been playing more, and he's been balling, bro. And it's incredible to see Nolan Smith. People were trying to give up on him right away. And, he just kept grinding. He didn't let anything get to him. He didn't let anything get to him. He fit right into the scheme. And he's peaking at the right moment, playoff time.
Some players just need the right coach, to trust in them and get the most out of them. And that's exactly what Fangio always does.
Yeah.
Yo, I agree with you, Scott. Just because when we saw Desai, bro, when he did his first interview, and when I saw that interview and the way that he was talking, bro, I knew he was just talk. Like, you can definitely tell he was just talk. But like the way Vic Fangio probably reminds them of the type of coach they had when they were in Georgia. Like he's gonna play them to their strengths. And hey, we can definitely say every Georgia dog on that team probably lost a year just with that defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And Patricia.
Yeah.
Patricia there too. Like that's bro.
That's a bad competition.
Think about the disaster we were in last year. We went into the playoffs with a DC that didn't coach in God knows how long. So threw them into the mix. With a team that was crumbling, we ended up in the bottom 3 in defense, and then we ended up the first defense a whole year later. That's a crazy, crazy jump, bro. Crazy. Not even middle of the pack. We went from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Just looking at how this team's been performing, it really is the defensive coordinator. We can all probably agree on that because they've only made a few changes on the defense. Only a few changes on the defense. Now, I will add to this because we talked about Nakobe Dean. I think with Nakobe Dean's injury, it is going to kind of push that envelope on signing Zach Bond. I think we're willing to give Zach Bond a little bit more money than what they expected with Nolan Smith. Just don't want to call him injury prone, but your best ability is your availability, bro. So like, I think with that being said, I can definitely see them possibly trying to sign Zach Bond just with the injury and the Kobe Dean.
He's coming back. I don't think there's no way Zach Bond. This season doesn't happen without Zach Bond. He's literally the captain on the defense. He's all over the field. One of my friends was watching the game with me. He told me, "Yo, who is 53?" He literally asked me that. Who is 53? Because nobody really knows who Zach Bond is unless you're watching the Eagles. He's not a household name at this point. I'm like, that's Zach Bond, first team All Pro.
Well, like I was telling y'all in the chat, and I'm gonna bring it up now too. When Howie let Zach Bond know that he made all team first pro, Zach was like, his first thing he said was, "Did you ever think that this was possible, that I could do this?" And Howie said, "F no." So he said, "And remember that when I make your contract up." And he was like, all right, bet. So, I mean, I think it's pretty much set in stone that we're going to sign him back. And I think that if we didn't, then we're just stupid, because that's a guy that at this point, bro, I'm not going to say hand him a blank check, but you got to pay that man, because he's the leader of our defense. He's been the most consistent player all season, bro. It was between him and Q, and then Q led up those 2 touchdowns. So Zach Bond is the most efficient and most consistent player on our defense. There's no way we shouldn't bring him back.
Yeah, I know you guys remember Luke Kuechly, right? Luke Kuechly spoke speaking on Zach Bond. He said that he thinks Zach Bond should have been Defensive Player of the Year. Do you guys know if Zach Bond would have been any more of a household name? Next year he might have that consideration, but he played like a Defensive Player of the Year type of player. That's the type of player he, literally.
We're actually better than Luke Kuechly when Luke Kuechly won the Defensive Player of the Year.
That's exactly why that graphic came up, I guess, on a show he was on, and they spoke about it. About this, but he's like, I know all about him. He's like, this guy needs to be the Defensive Player of the Year. It's just unbelievable how a guy is getting paid almost the league minimum is a first team pro. Just goes to show you.
Insane. Our organization is amazing.
Shout out to Howie.
Just the way they scout players is ridiculous.
How can you not be proud? How can you not be proud of a team that
maybe not rookies?
Look at everything.
Yeah, maybe not rookies as well, but they know how to bring in free agents. Now, if you asked me that last year around this time, I probably would have said something different. But Howie definitely knows how to make up. Howie definitely knows how to make up.
When we lost 2022 Super Bowl, right? I remember sitting there. I kept thinking. I've thought about that for months. I still think about that to this day. I'm not even going to hold you guys. It's not as much as deep, but I kept telling myself, you know what? The future is bright. 2 first-round picks. I forgot how many picks they had in that. I think 11. I was like, they have to hit on these picks. And boy, oh boy, did he hit on those next picks. You understand? And he got Jalen Carter. He got Nolan Smith. He got Quinyon Mitchell. He got Cooper DeJean. These are all guys that are signed on rookie contracts for the next 4 years, 5 years. So we're in a position where it almost reminds me of Seattle when they built the Legion of Boom. They signed, they drafted all these guys. They started realizing, hey, we're going to play together for the next 4 years. We might as well become the best defense. And they were at the top of the defense for a couple of seasons until they got dismantled. But this is what this is reminding me of.
So I got a question with that, though. Does Dean have 1 more year for an extension, or is he up for a new contract right now?
No, I think he
would be up for a new contract.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. So that kind of draws that question.
What year was he drafted? He was drafted in 19, right?
22. He went to the Super Bowl with us. Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl with us, him and Jordan Davis.
No, he still has 1 more year on the rookie year deal.
And then he would have 1 more year left.
He has 1 more year on the rookie. See, anybody who's a first-round pick, they could get the 5th year option, which is good. It gives you another year. So Nolan's
but he's a 3rd-round pick.
He's not
Nolan. I mean the Kobe Dean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Kobe Dean wouldn't get that. Like Scotty said, it'll be 2026. This would be his 4th season coming up. So this would be his last season coming up on the rookie deal.
Okay. He said Vikings will use that.
Hey. Wait, hold on now. Y'all can have Zach Bain.
Zach Bain.
We Zach Ball. You can have Zach Bain.
Good.
But don't they have Van Ginkel or whatever his name is?
Yeah, I got Van Ginkel. Y'all got him from Miami. Y'all stole him from Miami. Yeah. He was a killer in Miami. It's funny because
Well, that's because you know why though, right?
yeah, say it. I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
It's
He's
Brian
he's with the
Johnson.
Eagles now.
No.
Oh,
That's because the coach, the defensive coordinator for the Vikings was the head coach for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and
So
guess
when
who
they
he was
fired
under?
him, yeah, that was his guy with the Dolphins, and he brought him with them over to the Vikings.
And
So
it's
that
funny
was his guy.
because Van Ginkel, you know who transformed him before that coach did? It was Vic Fangio in Miami. He
hmm
transformed Van Ginkel before he handed him off to him. Van Ginkel, he compared him to Zach Bond. Basically the same leap that he made Van Ginkel do, he made Zach Bond do. He's like, I'm gonna put you on the outside linebacker, I'm gonna move you off the ball, and we're gonna see how you do. And that's how he excelled. So he literally made the same thing he did with Bond, he did with Van Ginkel. A lot of people don't know that because remember, Fangio was in Miami before. He forced his way
Yeah.
out of Miami to get to Philly.
But remember, Brian
Yeah.
Flores was there before, wasn't he? He
Yep.
was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there before Brian Flores.
Similar.
Brian
So
Flores. Yeah.
they're under the same coaching tree, basically.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's Brian Flores learned under Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So but yeah, at the end of the day, like they know how to scout linebackers. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
How we pay him and break the trend. You broke the trend with Saquon. Let's break it again.
well, I know
Mhm.
that if they can extend Sweat, so the Eagles have a $25 million salary cap right now. If they can extend Sweat, that opens up 38 million.
Okay.
That opens up 38 million. They got to get rid of Bradbury. That
Bradbury.
opens up Bradbury, that opens up 20 something million.
That's what
So
happened to
that's
him.
money right there. That's
That's a
money
lot
right
of
there
money.
just open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it definitely can happen. I would personally like Milton to stay just because I can't put 100% of my trust into Jordan Davis. That's just my personal opinion.
I agree with you,
Huff is
actually.
holding up a lot of space too, man. Huff's deal is holding
55
up a lot.
million.
I think they can work out a deal to kind of move up. Just because I don't think
Restructure that.
Huff just doesn't fit our scheme at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like
Or
Huff can go
restructure.
somewhere else.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
go
Huff
somewhere
can go
else.
somewhere else. And think about it like this: Hassan Reddick has only had half a sack this whole season. Only half a
Yeah,
sack.
he ain't doing nothing over there.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's what we do need. Though. Going back to what they were saying, that is our weak point is edge rushers.
That's why I'm happy Nolan Smith is emerging all of a sudden. Because if Nolan Smith disrupts like he did last game, a mix with Jalen Carter, our defense just got scarier. It's all of a sudden
Yeah.
now we just not.
And you can't sleep on Jalen's son either.
Oh yeah, of course.
Jalen's son.
Yeah.
Milton Williams had a great play in that game too. He bust through there too. As soon as they took that guard out, that guard got injured.
Mhm.
Packers, Milton Williams started killing that backup.
Yeah, and what Wayne's saying, like, I think you're right, Wayne. When it comes to physicality for the Eagles, I think this team is up there next to like the Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Seth Joyner, Eric Allen. Like it's up there with them.
Buddy Ryan's
Like
defense.
this defense. Yeah, this.
I mean, we
defense
got
is definitely
the
up there.
NFL. I get his point. The NFL in general, though, was just more physical back then.
For sure.
But of modern times, like, and when I say modern, I mean within the last 10 years, this is by far the most aggressive defense we've ever had.
Yeah, and to kind of go back a little bit on the offensive side when it comes to Jalen, I forgot who it was that was saying this, but they made a really good point. So up to that Cowboys year when they were winning the Super Bowl with the running back for the Cowboys back in the 90s when they were winning.
Emmitt Smith?
Smith?
Yeah, back when they had Emmitt Smith, that was the end of the running back era. And the thing about the running back era was that running back was helping out the quarterback. They were literally there to assist the quarterback. And then it became the quarterback era once Tom Brady started winning all these championships. Because it started to turn into, if you got an elite quarterback, that elite quarterback can take you wherever you want to go. So that's when Vegas started getting involved. Like stats started becoming a thing, like all that stuff. So everybody keeps thinking about stats. That's the only reason why people aren't liking Jalen is because of these stats. And I think the Eagles are trying to push a different narrative. I think they're pushing the narrative of if you have a great team, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have a good team, because at the end of the day, let's be honest here. As an Eagles fan, I can be completely honest. When you look at that offensive line and you look at these positions and these players, who is the weakest position player compared to their counterparts? It's Jalen. He's the weak like Jalen. I'm not going to put Jalen over Josh Allen. I'm not going to put him over Lamar. I'm not going to put him over Holmes. I'm not going to put him over those people. But this whole team as a whole, you can't stop them at the end of the day. You can't
Yeah.
stop them. And that's the same thing about the defense. And I think teams don't realize that. And it reminds me a little bit of the NBA, bro. Like the NBA used to be just one player can take a team as far as they can go. But I don't know about y'all if y'all watch basketball. My favorite NBA team is the 98 Lakers. Like 98 Lakers, that was a whole squad, bro. And like that whole team is what made them
Rick
elite.
Fox. Was
Yeah.
that Rick
Rick
Fox,
Fox,
Shaq,
Robert
Kobe,
Horry.
Was Ori
Yeah.
there?
Robert Horry?
Yeah. 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 So
Derek
think about
Fisher?
that. We still remember those names to this day. So just like how this team is, we're gonna remember all these names: like Kobe Dean,
Oh
Quinyon
yeah,
Mitchell, like
Making some
Jalen
good
Carter.
points, Warren. You're making good points.
This is the team.
you're making a great point.
We're showing that this is a team game, bro. Like that's what Nick Sirianni is pushing. This is the ultimate team game, and it doesn't just take one quarterback to be elite to take us there. It takes everybody. The quarterback doesn't need to be elite. So all this other talk that people say is that's the way I'm going into this right now. Like looking at this team, they're here to change the whole narrative. And I feel like if they can win the Super Bowl and change that narrative, bro, we're about to change the whole NFL. They're about to make the NFL start putting money on those defensive tackles, on those linebackers. Maybe we do need to work out a deal to where we got good wide receivers. Like that's just my personal opinion. That's the way I look at this team. Like if they can make that whole change and change the game up like that, and now make the running back an actual threat, bro, this people aren't going to know what to do anymore.
Yo, that's a mic drop statement right there. Somebody
Mic
clip that
drop.
and
We
put
need
that
the
on
mic to
TikTok.
drop that more. Yeah, that's a
Somebody
fact.
clip
Yeah.
that and put it on TikTok. Let's go. Let's go viral.
But you know what,
But yeah,
Warren?
No,
What you said
that's
about
a good point
20s
though.
football, you were right. The running back used to get 30 carries a game. Quarterback, like Aikman, will get 17 attempts, 18 attempts, and they will win again. They win in championships this way by letting the running back get 30 attempts, and it works. So you're right. You're right on that. It's Nick Sirianni. There's not a true MVP on this team because I'm telling you, one day AJ could kill you. One day the defense might kill you. One day
exactly.
Saquon might kill you. One day Smitty might go for 100. Goddard might, what's the play of the year to me? Goddard in New Orleans running down the sideline. Because that
Oh yeah,
was
that
the
was a great play.
that we were dead in the water. And when I say Jalen may not have his best games, but he may make a play or two that's gonna put us in position, and that's one of them. That's one of the plays. If he doesn't make that throw to Goddard down the sideline, we lose that game and we go into the bye week even worse than we went in. So
And you want to know why that play gets overlooked? Because Saquon jumping over people backwards.
yeah,
That's what
and
I'm saying,
Yeah.
bro.
Also too, like you said, this is a team game. Who's the MVP here? Who's gonna kill you? Where's the poison? Having Goddard back helped us. It just makes us better. It makes this team just
More dynamic. Yeah.
more dynamic, spreads them out more. You don't even know what to expect from them. It's just like you know what to expect from the Bills. You know what to expect from the Ravens. You already. It's like, what do you expect from Philadelphia?
Exactly.
Go ahead,
You
Scotty.
really,
How you
you
feel
truly.
about it, Scotty?
I mean, y'all making great points. Exactly like you said. I think the Eagles are definitely trying to change the narrative on a team football or a football team that has a lot of good
It's the way the
star
team's
players.
built. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just the way the team's built. And like Jay was saying, if you look at it, like you got Smitty that can easily snap for 100 when he probably could be a wide receiver one somewhere else, but he's here with us. He's taking less money. He's not having these, averaging 100 yards per game.
Less
And then you got
targets.
Saquon. It's just like what more can you ask from a team like that? It's just a Swiss Army
No, that's
knife.
facts. Yeah, and now we have the defense for it, which makes us the even bigger threat. Who's the weakest person on our defense? Who's the weakest on our
Before,
defense?
before you say that, that's another thing that we could go into is
What's
like
the weakest
I think we
point?
the weakest position or the weakest player.
Let's say the weakest player, weakest point. What's the question?
I would go weakest. What is the weakest area that we have on our defense? D-line, linebackers, secondary. Where's the weakest area?
I think like
I mean,
Scotty said earlier with the pass rush.
it's probably still going to be edge rusher,
Yeah.
but that's been improving as of late.
You got edge rusher, but they're making that up with the linebackers though. That's what Bond and that's what Dean were doing though. So like they know they don't have the rotation.
What I would say is they don't have any glaring weaknesses, but if we want to pick one, it's definitely that they don't have.
If you have to pick one,
we don't have a closer. We don't like Hassan Reddick was our closer. Nolan Smith is looking like he's developing week by week into this closer type of player, but the pass rushes almost goes away at times for us. Quarterbacks sometimes sit back there.
the good thing that like also overshadows a lot of maybe bad plays we make on defense is the fact that we have. I think we talked about this earlier before at some point. Is that we have an elite player, at least one elite player at every level of our defense.
Exactly.
So if somebody's missing something in the secondary, you got your boy back there to help you. If somebody's missing a read, as a linebacker, you got your boy right next to you that's going to come help you. If somebody's missing a run or something, trying to stop the run, you got your boy next to you, to the left of you and the right of you that's going to help you. So it's hard to pick a bad spot in our defense, and I'm not just saying that, but it's just factual when you have that many good players.
And then look at this like this. Look at it this way. They let CJ go. They bring back CJ. I forgot who I spoke to this to. I probably talked on this last week, but CJ's a trash talker. We like that's what he is. That's how he plays his game. But CJ Gardner-Johnson is probably one of the best communicating safeties like
100%.
out in the league when it comes to just communicating the play. Yeah, he's going to trash talk you, but he's going to let you know everything that's going on. He'll tell Q, go over there. Make sure you're on this side. Like, that's what makes him and Reed Blankenship like this. Do not separate them, bro. Do not separate them.
Why would we lose Washington? We lost 2 leaders in one game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Gave this team a spark.
And our team collapsed.
And you want to know what's crazy? CJ got released by the Lions. So CJ's ready. CJ played for the Lions. CJ's not with the Lions. Like, he was with the Lions last year, bro. They released him. Yeah. We simply just picked him back up. So he wants his revenge.
He brought a lot of culture to that. He brought out the scheme.
I know. I think he also missed like 8 or 9 games for them. So I think they're worried about can he stay healthy. Yeah. But like if you take
he missed games with us too. He did miss.
Yeah, he missed 22. He missed like 6 or 7.
He missed games in 22, and that's what brought Reed Blankenship. Like, that's what brought Reed Blankenship onto the stage. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So, like,
but look at the way the defense like works with CJ and then without him. I mean, obviously we did bring in a lot of good players, but he's just a leader that everyone needs on their defense.
Let's see.
Jordan Davis. That's a good point, actually.
That's actually the answer.
That's probably it. That's probably it.
That's probably the answer. Shouts. That's Antoine, right? You said Ami's Antoine.
That's Antoine. Yeah.
Antoine. Shout to Antoine, our 4th host in the comments, and just let us make us realize.
He's adding. Yeah, I like that.
He's somewhere laughing right now. Like, I don't know.
Jordan Davis is a good point. Just because we got to look at it like this too, fellas. Like, Jordan Davis is kind of like the O-line. They're not going to have the crazy stats. They're not going to jump at you on a highlight tape, but they're doing the dirty work as far as Jordan Davis is having to get double teamed. So that's opening up holes. Now, Jordan Davis, with him knowing that too.
Jalen Carter, sorry.
No. Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is like, they're having to double team Jordan Davis too. Like, that's opening up holes. That's
because he's so big.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Yeah, he's getting double teamed, so that's opening up holes for people. And he's literally just a run stopper. Like, he's there to just run stop.
Yeah.
But he needs to know, bro, you're not going to get top dollar for what you're doing. And I think the fact that they all are like Georgia boys, Bulldogs, they don't want to separate, bro. I don't think they want to separate. They all kind of live together in the same area out in Philly too. They don't want to separate like that. So they will all take a deal.
To keep
What's that?
8 of them though, like that kind of stuff just doesn't happen, bro.
And they added
You know
one
what I
too.
mean?
And they added.
That dude is signed, seen.
Yeah. He was a first round draft pick in 22
Yeah,
with Dean and
he
with
was
Jordan
with all
Davis.
of them. Yeah, he was with all of them.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
him,
He was
yeah,
ineligible to
so
play Sunday though, but
Yeah, he's
yeah,
not ready
he
yet.
got injured, but like, bro, maybe they got a plan in the works. My only thing is he plays safety, so what are they trying to do? Are they trying to maybe move him to corner?
Special teams
Like,
maybe also
well,
too.
you got Ringo
Depth.
right there too. I
Yeah,
don't know,
depth.
bro.
it
Like,
also could have
he
just
was a
been
first round
playoff
pick for a
depth.
reason. Yeah, but
Yo, that's a
Nicholas
good comment
Morrow.
that Wayne. Look at the comments that Wayne said about the passers. We don't get any holds. I don't know if it's. I don't know if the refs are blind. I don't know if they see Jalen Carter. If Jalen Carter's just that strong, but they don't get any holding calls at all.
Nah,
I think because at the end of the day, Jalen Carter was getting hold the entire time. Jalen Carter getting hold, bro, like that stopped a lot. Like Jalen Carter
yeah,
was getting held, and it goes with the taunting too. Like they're calling taunting calls like crazy.
But they put out a
Um,
memo before the playoff. I don't know if y'all saw that. They said all the players need to keep their emotions in check. They're gonna penalize every taunter, the trash talking. They're gonna have no exceptions for anybody. And because they said they know the emotions are gonna be high. And you notice playoff football, every hit is different, every snap is different. You hear every tackle, it's not the same. So you could see that. I mean, you saw how physical the Eagles and Packers game was. Packers were
well,
just
that's
having to
why
get out of it.
with the Rams coming out to Philly and that cold is going to be a different story. When you get hit,
yeah.
you're going to get hit different.
Good luck
And
to
I'm gonna
them.
add to what Wayne is saying. Now, Wayne, I'm gonna add this to that. Jordan, would you say Jordan Davis has gotten better since last year? Like, I feel like last year, that Josh Allen game against the Bills, like when Jordan Davis chased down Josh Allen, that was all he gave.
Yeah, he
Like that
gave
was
his
it
whole
after that.
career up.
Oh, he
Yeah,
died. Yeah, he died on the sideline after that. But the thing is, he
yeah,
did cut weight already. His rookie year,
yeah,
going into the second year, they told him to cut weight, and he did. Maybe
yeah.
he needs to cut more.
I
I don't
think it's
know,
a
but
technique thing with him. I think it's just more of a
I
skill
think it's
thing.
more of a technique. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like his mechanics are off or something.
Go to Antoine's comment. Yeah, this is all a fact right here. Both of Antoine's comments is facts. Milton Williams
No,
has,
he has.
if you really want to talk about it, and like then go to his next comment. He has not operated like a first round pick. He's actually underwhelmed,
Nah.
and that's for sure. Remember,
Jordan
Jordan Davis
Davis
got
is not.
selected very
No,
high.
he was selected high because of the 40 that he ran and just his performance in the draft. And I think at the end of the day, the Eagles saw they didn't want to lose him if they could get him. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. Like you don't want to lose him and you can get him. Kind of like Quinion. Like if you got the best cornerback,
Was
like
he the first
it's
guy
no
that we
sitting
got
there.
from out of this
Yeah,
Georgia
Yeah,
pack?
he was the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jordan Davis, then
He was
Jalen
the very
Carter,
first one.
and then Nicole, and went in that order.
Yeah, Jordan
yeah.
Davis, Nakobe Dean,
Yeah,
and then
then
after
Jalen
that we got
Carter,
Jalen Carter,
It was
Nolan
Carter
Smith,
and Nolan.
then
Yeah,
Ringo. Yeah.
like 2 for 2.
So
and then yep.
yeah, bro. But yeah, like I said, I just feel like I don't mind keeping Jordan Davis, but Jordan Davis has to understand you're not a top elite defensive tackle. Like you're literally a nose guard. We need you there to stop the run. And as long as he's fine with getting paid to be just a nose guard, like I hate to say it, to be that one trick pony, you gotta be capable you gotta be able to just be real with yourself and say, I'm willing to
You gotta
stay
be
for
dominant.
rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's willing to do
One
that,
thing
I'm
I'm gonna
cool with
look
that.
at, one thing I'm gonna look more into is
Mm-hmm.
like, because sometimes I think we can all agree there's times, and it's just like every other NFL team, but there's times where the opponent's run game does start to kind of take off on us a little bit, and then we'll slow
Mm-hmm.
it back down. But I'm gonna start looking at where those gaps are. Like, are they hitting it where Jordan is? Because that's one thing I actually haven't really paid attention to. I don't know if y'all have.
So they're kind of doing what we do a little bit. Whenever they're making those pulls, that's when they're getting us. And you got to think about it. Josh Jacobs is the third best running back in the league, next to Henry and Saquon.
That's
So
As far as rush yards
he
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's one of the
he's right up there.
yeah, he's one
But
of the free agent signees that switched teams. So you got to give him respect.
Yeah.
He did
yeah.
thrive. He made Green Bay better.
But even like you said though, Scott, like Rico Dowd, like he he got over 100 rushing yards on us. Like,
Yeah, he did.
so I do like the point that you're making. Maybe we need to. I don't know, bro. Like that's a good point. Maybe the
That's
weakest
the only.
area is the defensive line. Maybe the
That is the
defensive
weakest.
line is our weakest area.
Because it's like it's not enough to really like be worried about because we always seem to find a way to like shut it down next week or even later in that game. But I do notice a lot of time like a running back starts taking off on that D line a little bit, and it's
Yeah.
not really big yard. It's not like big pickups, but it'll be like an 8, a
6,
12,
7,
a
8,
5. Yeah,
first
They're
down.
doing to our defense what we do to usual defense.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we don't like that because
But you know
we
what?
the only
This
ones that do
defense
that.
relies heavy. The pass, like we are gonna pick a weaker unit is definitely the defensive line because now I think about it, our secondary holds up well, our linebackers hold up well. We were kind of the opposite in 2022. The sacks were just creating all sorts of disruption and creating picks and creating errant throws. And this year's a little bit different. Our pressure is not there as much, but our back end coverage is phenomenal. So quarterbacks don't know what to do.
yeah.
I think you get Milton Williams and you add him on, like get Milton Williams and get Jalen Carter another year with Vic Fangio. I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with that because Jalen Carter is doing. I know these are two different positions. I know these are, but it's still on a defensive line. I want y'all's opinion. Has Jalen Carter's career been more successful than Micah Parsons?
I mean, you're talking about like in their first 2 years?
Yeah.
Jalen's played in more playoff games, right? So
If we count success as playoffs, I'll take it. But
Even though they're different positions, I would like to put their
yeah,
numbers
I'll
up
take it.
side by side. But I feel like Carter didn't get his flowers last season. I feel like this season, he's still not getting his flowers yet.
also, Jalen Carter was closer to winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in his rookie year than Micah was in his, I think. Oh, wait, no. Did Micah win it? Or am I tripping?
I think Micah did win it.
Michael Winner, you're right, though. Jalen did come very close.
Wait, I remember a graphic that this just popped up in my head right now. I remember last year there was a graphic that came out at week 18, and it was like the player that was leading the Defensive Rookie of the Year week by week. And I kid you not, from weeks 1 to 17, it was Jalen Carter. And then week 18, it was the guy who ended up winning it. So that's BS. But anyway, to get back to
who won it? It was Witherspoon from Seattle, and I feel like Witherspoon also stole first team All Pro from Mitchell. He's a good corner, but he's also stole Rookie of the Year from Jalen Carter. At the end of the year,
You know what? I'm
Jalen
fine with
did
that, bro.
slack.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Just because I want them to take off right now in the postseason.
Yeah, but
Usually
Jalen,
the ones that win that don't win Super Bowls.
But you see, this is the thing about Jalen Carter. His season kind of faded towards the end of the year. If you remember, he didn't play with the higher motor like he did in the beginning of the season. That's my only concern I have with him. Does he give it, everything throughout the year? It looks like this year he's changed because he has more of a role. Fletcher's not there. He's more of the guy now. Everything, the whole defensive line revolves around him. He's the best player on that line. So everything.
I don't think Vic Fangio is going to allow him to slack. I don't think Vic Fangio is going to allow that.
No.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's his rookie year. First year in the NFL, you get gassed. You give it all you got the first 10 weeks, and then by week 11, your body's not used to that.
Then you got some defensive coordinator named Desai. This guy gets fired, and all of a sudden you got some guy named Patricia. Yeah, like who the fuck are these guys? But let's see. He said Jacoby D will be out. I think the linebacker position is the weakest group. Owen Burks, I'm kind of comfortable with. Just because
I'm not ready to say that yet. We gotta see how it plays out against the Rams.
I want to see with a full week of preparation. I want to see how he goes in with the installs, the walkthrough, having a whole week to prepare. Once again, he's played on good team, he's played on good defense, but he was a backup.
Yeah.
Now I can see Vic Fangio having Owen Burks and Trotter going in a rotation.
That's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's going to do.
I think he's going to put them in a rotation. Yeah.
We know damn well Fangio does not sugarcoat when it comes to players' skill and putting them in a game. So if he's that comfortable with those two playing, then I trust him.
Because
Yeah.
think about it, he put
Especially after what he
McCollum in
said
when I
about
thought
Huff.
Sidney Brown was
Yeah.
going to come in when Blankenship went out, and he put in McCollum, and he said McCollum is the guy. So whatever Fangio decides is what he sees up there in that box. So, because
Yep.
everybody thought Sidney Brown was going to play when Blankenship went out that one game a couple weeks ago, and he didn't. It ended up being McCollum, and McCollum came in, and everybody was surprised. Like, where's Sidney Brown? Where's Sidney Brown?
Now, I'm gonna add to what you just said, Jay and Scott, but I'm gonna go through these comments real quick. Versus getting cooked by Josh Jacobs after Dean went down. He was, but this is my thing. He's playing so physical. Like, they make it burnt, but the fact that they're getting hit, they're gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna go so quick on that side. Like, it's a mental thing that they're playing with them.
We're
That's
playing
what
another
I'm-
very similar
I
running
don't know.
back too.
He said, I don't know. Michael was cold. You're right. He was cold. He ain't
Yeah.
cold no more.
I wish could have been on one. Yeah, go Eagles. I'm worried
Go
about
Birds,
facing
Bruce.
Stafford. I'm not too worried about Stafford.
I
And
would be if
shout
it
out
was
to
a decade
Bruce.
ago.
Shout out Bruce. Shout out Antoine.
Damn.
Hey,
I'm worried about facing Stafford. That's a crazy statement right there.
Yo, bro, listen, Cooper Cup, if y'all been watching lately, I don't know if he's allergic to Cooper Cup, but he's not giving Cooper Cup anything, bro. Everything is going
I
to
think-
Puka. It's like he's only feeding Puka. Everything's Puka. Like he's
That's
not
definitely
giving
his
Puka
hot
Cup.
route.
And I'm telling you this from a better standpoint. Like Cup has not been getting no yards.
I guarantee you this though. Cup is gonna not put work. I take that back. But he is gonna give Cooper a run for his money. I do think that.
Oh, don't
Didn't
say
he
that,
do
'cause
that?
Adam Thielen
I
had
think he
Cooper
did it a
Cup.
little bit. He did a little bit, but not too crazy. But I'm pretty sure they're looking at the way Adam Thielen played Cooper Rush. All these damn Coopers. But yeah, he's gonna look at that and he's gonna tell him to play him a certain way. So we will definitely see. Adam Thielen is a little bit of a bigger body, so maybe he just out physicaled him, but we'll definitely
We
see.
just may be also seeing the ending of Cooper Cup. Receivers only have a certain limited amount of time, bro.
Well, they were talking about bringing him to the Eagles though.
Cooper was snapping in the beginning of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah, it just looked like I don't know.
Yeah.
It just looked like look at the last couple of games. His targets are not. He's not even getting targets. It's not even.
Well,
That he's not,
Well, hold this. Well, you can say the same thing about AJ.
that's true, but
Yeah, that's true.
when you look at AJ and you look at Cooper Cup and you look at their body of work, Cooper's he's declining and declining and declining and declining and declining. I'm telling you, and Puka's emerging and emerging and emerging.
Also,
Yeah.
the difference is none of our receivers were getting the ball.
That's
It's like they were throwing to Puka.
they were.
So
The best
Yeah.
way to beat them for me was to just take Puka away from the game and just let him beat you with Cup and everybody else.
I
Yeah.
think this defense.
Cup on Slayer
And-
is going to be a good matchup.
But remember, going back to that point that I made, like the fact that we know that 80% of these teams are all about making sure their quarterback is living to that motto and that standard of a quarterback. We're playing up against that. So any quarterback that is playing like that, we got something for him.
Yeah.
Like, look at the way that we played Joe Burrow, bro. Like, yeah, he got a few touchdowns on us, but he didn't blow us out.
He didn't even get 20 points. He had 19. Remember, all the offensive
I would say Kirk
powerhouses
Cousins.
have
I
been
would say
held
Kirk
down.
Cousins, but he did play well at the very end. But even the way we held Kirk Cousins, like we can play those type of quarterbacks.
the
Our
deep ball
defense can.
quarterbacks, yeah.
Yeah, like we can play those quarterbacks if they want to do that.
The only thing is like containing Puka because he did tear us up last time. But at the same time, if I recall that game, that was the game where he had like 3 crazy catches, and I mean that's just that's skill, but stuff like that's he's throwing into double coverage and he's still catching the ball. But
do you
one of
feel
the
like
guys
the
is gonna-
way this team operates is like let Puka get his catches, like let him get what he's got to get, but just don't let him get the big play to where it can.
That's what I
change
was
the
getting
game.
into. Yeah,
Oh my
like
bad.
he's gonna
Yeah.
eat. You good. He's gonna get his yardage, but they do have a pretty high powered offense. So one of them guys is gonna eat.
Yeah. Well,
You know what?
you said they're tight ends playing, so yeah, you're
You know
right.
what concerns me a little bit about like the too high safety look? A veteran quarterback is going to take all the checkdowns, all the till 10, so that does concern me a little when they do try to prevent the big play, you do end up getting a guy who marches down the field on you a few times a game. So, they have to limit that. They got to find a way to also limit that too, and not only just rely on taking away the big play, but also taking away those intermediate throws because they give up a lot of those.
No, I like that.
That's a good comment too. We haven't even touched on that. What is Jake Elliott is going to be a problem?
I don't even know how we got through an hour and a half without speaking about. If you want to speak about the weakest point of a team, you want to speak about the weakest point of a team. Look no further than our kicking situation, where in any other team he would have been gone. I'm telling you, any other team he would have been out the door.
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't know what this guy's deal is, bro. And then what makes me mad about him is he'll miss a PAT and then he'll smirk. Ain't nothing funny, bro.
And then hit 4.
I want him to smirk and just see Mekhi Becton just hit him upside the head. Like, bro, what are you laughing at?
Yeah, something.
The funniest one is when Josh Sweat was just looking at him when he was walking by. Like, bro, they were like, you serious, bro?
Yeah, Josh said.
Like, bro, you just gave him the rolling eyes. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, that's
Jake the Make. Are you Jake the Fake or Jake the Make? What's going on, man?
Who knows what's going to happen with Jake Elliott? But I think at the end of the day, looking at it, we got to allow it to where we only put Jake out there just for the extra point. We have to.
Dude, we don't even – dude, remember we got in a situation where we needed a 50-yard field goal. And we went for it on 4th and 4 because we didn't have faith in Jake Elliott to get a 51-yard field goal.
Matthew Stafford is the day.
Terrible. If you cannot make a 50-yard field goal, you cannot play in the NFL. Because there's going to be a point where they rely on you to hit a 52, 53-yarder to win it, to tie it. And he's done it.
Yeah, bro, I promise you, if it ends up being a Super Bowl and it's like the fourth quarter, we're down 2, we need a 50, I'm going home early, bro. I'm going to just I can't watch.
I'm leaving.
I think if we go to the Super Bowl, bro, I think the 2 people that have been criticized the most, which is Jalen and Nick Sirianni, are going to be the 2 that make sure that does not happen, bro. Those are going to be the same 2 that make sure that does not happen.
I'll probably be walking around with him on a leash, making sure he's not doing anything. Like, you walking with us.
Yeah. But yeah, facts, bro. I think Jake Elliott hopefully he gets it straight. Hopefully he figures it out. Maybe if we beat the Rams and we go to Detroit, maybe the fact that we're in a dome may help. But we will definitely see, bro. But what's going into this game, what's y'all score predictions?
Go ahead, Jay.
All right, man. I think the 30 burger's coming out. And if it don't come out, we're going to roll with 28. So I'll take 28 and give me a sad 17 for the Rams with an extra 7 at the end.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll take 28-17. This is the playoff football. Blowouts are very rare in the playoffs.
Okay. You want me to go, Scott?
Yeah, go ahead. I've got a little thinking to do.
Okay. I think this game is going to open up the pass and it's going to open up the run. I think this is going to be our best playoff game. So I'm going 32-27 Birds.
Nice.
That's a good score. I think last time we played them, we beat them. I just had it pulled up. 37-20. Saquon did a lot of the heavy lifting. I think it's going to be similar. I think he's going to do it again, but I think we are going to open up the pass game, and we're going to all be able to feel a little bit of relief from, the game against the Packers. So I'm going to go 31-21 Birds.
Yeah. Nice. So Travis got 24-21. Antoine has 24-13. Okay. Now, I will put this out there. If I'm a parlay person, you guys aren't going to like this. I will put Jalen. Jalen will get 1 interception. And I only say he will get 1 interception because he is going to pass a tad bit more than what he has been passing. I will say he will get 1 interception, but it'll be an interception to where it won't be a game-changing interception, but it'll just be like, well, we expected that. He's passing more. You feel me? I think we will get that because he will be passing more.
I hope you're not right.
I hope you're not right.
Well, but I'm saying at the end of the day, like most throwing quarterbacks.
I respect it. What I just hope you're not right.
Yeah, when your pass attempts are that high, bro, you're gonna get at least one interception.
No, you're right.
And
You're right.
it's the playoffs, bro. Who the fuck cares? Just
But we can't be at the same time. We can't be
the
worried
bottom half of
about.
the league in pass attempts. So you're right. If we do
We
open it up, it does leave us with way more opportunity because we don't
And if
catch
our defense is really that good, we can't be worried about one little ass interception anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And my only frustration and concern is Kellen Moore has been talking to the Cowboys.
or has been requested to speak to the Cowboys, but you know his phone is ringing on the sideline.
Exactly. So, hey,
I hate that stuff, bro. Shout out Nikki though for the
shout out to Nick.
score predictions again.
we appreciate you, Nikki. We appreciate y'all. Everybody coming on.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all
Yeah,
watching
appreciate
this.
that.
Shout out to
us every
Travis too, the
Tuesday.
Vikings fan in the building tonight. Wayne with great comments. Gio.
Hey Travis,
Vincent
yeah,
always.
Travis, join us. Yeah, one day we got to get you on, and we want to get your feedback because
shout out to Antoine.
I know the
too.
Vikings.
Antoine in the comments. Heavy.
Yeah, I know the Vikings are gonna have a lot of questions they need answers for this offseason. So I know that's coming up. Wayne has 28-23. Nikki said she got the recap coming. She said, I'm not worried about Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't, like I said, when you have a defense like the defense that we have, if you want, this is what frustrates me, bro. If you want Jalen to play like those other quarterbacks, we got to be okay with interceptions. We can't bash
Don't be mad. Yeah, exactly.
You got to be okay with him.
We can't bash him for interceptions.
You can't hold him to us.
Say that.
What are you talking about, bro? That's what I'm like. You can't get mad. You can't get mad because it's a pass attempt. His pass attempt can't be an interception. It can't be a completion. You increase the attempts, you increase the chance of interceptions, you increase the chance of completions. That's what happens. But at the end of the day, bro, I think Jalen's going to be passing a little bit more. I got him over 200 passing yards. Yes, I said it. Over 200 passing yards. I got him with 3 touchdowns, one rushing touchdown, 1 touchdown to AJ, 1 touchdown to Devontae. I think this is going to be a good game for him. Just coming back and get him in that rhythm. But
I would love to see it.
Yeah, Nikki, appreciate you. Appreciate you, Nikki.
We need to capitalize on these turnovers. We need to make more out of these turnovers. We get turnovers, we're not producing points off of them. That has to change.
Bro, this defense is getting turnovers at the right time.
Yeah.
If they would have gotten turnovers in the very beginning of the season and just stopped now, that would be an issue. They didn't start getting all these turnovers till that Panthers game. Would you say that? No, I would say the Panthers game they started getting the turnovers, and then they slowly started. It started becoming
it was
one
around
turnover
that time,
to
Yeah, Slade
then
mentioned
2,
that.
then 3, then 5. Yeah,
Slade
this is the
mentioned
perfect time.
The corners haven't been getting any picks, so before the game they say, the corners got to get active. We got to start getting some picks, and they ended up father and son, like you like to say. They got Q and Slade. They both got this in the same game. Slade's interception was real pretty too.
Hell yeah. But fellas, we're going to get up out of here. Y'all know what we do every time we leave out. We're going to be back on for a little quick chat. But we appreciate all y'all watching. Please, please, please do not forget to subscribe to us. Me and Jay have been doing the shorts. The shorts have been going crazy. We want to hear from you guys, everything y'all have to say. We will be having videos coming up. But moving forward, we appreciate y'all. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yo,